Greetings, everyone. I'm here in Munich with Inez Adler of Voxativ, and we're going to talk about her brand new Andagio field coil speaker. And I was lucky enough to review the speaker to the right, the Andagio 2024, which I absolutely loved. And so now we're going to talk about her latest speaker, the Andagio. Tell me about the driver is very unusual. Inez, tell me about that.
The driver in the Andagio is a field coil driver. This means the magnet of the driver is electric and only gets magnetic when an electric DC of 12 volt is connected to the driver. For this, we have a power supply down here on the ground, which is a very sophisticated one. You can do this more simple, but this one is powered up by a huge car battery, and this delivers the best DC you can get without any disturbance and everything. And then we have an automatic charging inside, and for the time while the battery is charged, we have a simple standard power supply on the side. So the current that we deliver to the driver is always extremely flat and extremely clean, because when you put maybe a switching power supply and you connect it to the magnet, you may hear the switching frequency. You directly hear that in the driver, even though you power it up to the magnet. So this is a very special phenomenon with field coil drivers. So maybe the question comes up, why field coil drivers?
Yes,
what are they good for? And this is an historical thing, because in the 1900s, where those big neodymium magnets were not present, the neodymium anti-FEB magnet was not invented. So powerful magnets were not there. And what did people do? They made electrical magnets. And then they could get the power to have the voice in the cinemas. And you have a lot of older field coil speakers. They look very strange, and they work with a current of 100 volt. DC, extremely dangerous, never touch anything on this driver. And I once got one of those drivers in my hands, and a customer asked, can you do a restoration so that it works? I said, okay, I can do that. And then a friend of mine said, what if Voxativ made such a driver, a bit more modern, a little bit less dangerous? And this is what we did. We started in 2000 to construct a field coil driver, only because nobody does it. It was only, why not? Because I love to do crazy things. My goal of doing loudspeakers is I do what I like. And it's passionate. I don't like to combine three drivers that I buy in China and then I have a loudspeaker. That's boring for me. So I like to do special things. And such a field coil driver was a special thing. Even I did not know what sonic potential was in this driver. And when I first powered up my first field coil driver, I found out, whoa, this sounds wonderful. Where does this come from? And then I found out, yes, the magnet warms up after it is powered with DC. And after a while, you have about, I would say, 80, 90 degrees Fahrenheit on the magnet, and your magnet gap is also warm. And your voice coil that moves in the magnet gap moves in a medium that is warm. And this sounds different. And this is where the special sound of the field coil driver comes from. So the coils that we use are mostly similar from their construction. Even we use different materials. But the magnets are different, and every magnet sounds different. That's a phenomenon with wide banders. So what we also have here is a goat leather surround. This is a surround that will stay forever because it will never fail. You can see when you touch it. Like a foam surround, sometimes they rot over time. The goat leather would never do that. And we have wood as a cone. Extremely thin, extremely lightweight. The wood cone of Voxativ has the same moving mass that the paper cone. So it's extremely thin. And in the middle we have a face plug that is also real wood. And the overall construction is the Voxativ field coil driver. And of course we make everything by hand.
Tell me about the It's a big cabinet. It looks to be deeper than the Andagio.
Yes.
What sort of folded horn or folded transmission line is going on in there?
Finally, it is kind of the same construction as the Andagio. It is a backloaded horn that is connected to the back of the driver. It is simply a folded funnel, but it is longer than the Andagio funnel, and it does not open to the front, it opens to the bottom. So the bass is coming out there on the bottom and amplifies all the frequencies lower, I would say, than 150 hertz. So this is the reason why it's a bit deeper than other speakers, because the horn must be somewhere. And the Andagio is kind of the follower of our Arpeggio Due, which was a speaker with a very wide front panel, but this was not very room friendly. So the idea was do something like Arpeggio Due, but make it a bit smaller, and so that more people can buy it and put it in their rooms. The other one, why did I do it? Here we go. If you go there on the presentation, that was the Arpeggio Due. And finally, the Andagio is not so different. A little bit, of course.
It looks very different.
Yeah, it looks different, but the overall construction is not so different. And so we have a horn that expands more to the back and does not use such a wide screen.
Is part of the field coil responsible for the speaker is incredibly open sounding.
Yeah.
You can hear all the decay of the music. Is that part of what the field coil does, that incredible treble openness and energy?
Of course. On the other hand, we also have neodymium magnets that have the same power as the field coil driver. But the sound is different because of this warm magnet gap. The sound is completely different. And here, the driver that is inside of this speaker is a hybrid. This means it's a combination of the neodymium and field coil. This is a very special thing, and it's the most expensive driver Voxativ makes. We also have pure field coil drivers, and they cost a little bit less, and you can also have them in this speaker.
It's interesting, the battery for the field coil. Now, you have experience and history with developing batteries, obviously, for your whole charging business. Did that help you, or is this at all influenced by that?
Not really, because this battery power supply was created before I founded the battery charging company. But I have a little experience in charging. And as an engineer, everybody wants from you that you can easily work into other fields of technical experience. So it was not such a big thing for me to work with this battery. And on the other hand, we have a wonderful electrical engineer, Stefan, and he makes all the electronics, so that it's not everything is my work, my personal work. We have a lot of wonderful people in the company with a great experience, and they help. And also our amplifiers and our electronics are made by Stefan. He's our chief engineer.
Cool. So when will the speaker be available?
It will be available from now on.
Great.
So, and the funny thing is, we have sold one yesterday. It is a speaker for the resolution fetishist, I would say, because if you're closer to heavy metal, it's not the right thing for you. But if you want to really hear the breath of the singer and the movement of the tongue, you can closely see it, then this is the right speaker for you. If you want to have power, we have other versions with active woofers and everything where you can blow up your neighbors. But this one is female voice, natural instruments in the highest resolution you can get all over the world, I would say. Then this is your speaker. So this is how I would describe it.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Inez. Thank you for Christopher, who has disappeared behind a scrim. Always great speaking with you. It's always an education.
Thank you again.
Thanks so much.